Let's take a look at how the markets ended the session today. Major indices all ending in the green for a third straight day, but the action wasn't that straightforward. Take a look at the big drop in markets midday. The Dow erasing nearly all of its 500-plus point gain by 2:30 before bouncing back. That move coincided with a steep drop in Bitcoin. Both the crypto and the markets bottom at exactly the same time, which is very interesting. So how do you make sense of these moves? Jeff, what was your take?
Well, I've been sort of tracking ARK in the IPO index. I'll throw Bitcoin in there as well. But I just think the idea and what's been driving the market for so long is this idea that there's going to be some pivot or some maybe new liquidity cycle. And I think generally the behavior of all those areas says, no, there's not. So I don't know that that thesis holds water. And I think you'll continue to see that being a main driver going forward. So I still think that we're stuck in this 3,900 resistance, 3,700 support sort of area. Look at the Qs, obviously larger part of the market, closer to the lows. So I just don't think the setup is that great when you have, the top of the market, an Apple, a Tesla now contending with downward sloping 200 days, Tesla breaking that support at 200. I just think that it's a difficult argument to make that the market's going to all of a sudden move to new highs when you have those big parts of the market struggling the way they are.
Well, as that's the market, Jeff makes all the right points. We are basically talk about dead money. The market is stuck. We're churning as individual components gap down. Some are putting on good shows, but we're not progressing. And usually that's resolved lower because you get resolved typically in the direction of the preceding move, a steep decline, a lot of churn, and then you go lower. As to crypto, though, the thing here is that Bitcoin has a June low, mid-June, just as the S&P does, and Bitcoin has never breached that low, whereas the S&P has. We're now right at that low. We went slightly below it. It's not a good setup, and I'm on the wrong side of this one now. I was thinking we're going to base here.
I'll just say this about the market. Okay, so however the market reacts tomorrow, let's say Bitcoin is not an influential factor here, to the midterm result, and then we have the CPI on Thursday. And so if the market continues this rally a little bit, let's say the CPI number comes in not as hot as some people would fear, you probably have a bit of a continuation. I think Jeff makes a really good point, and Carter's been making this for weeks on Worth Charting, is that this rotation out of mega cap, given the fundamental news that we've had on those major names into other parts of the market has been really healthy. That's the S&P's outperformance over that time period. The fact that the NASDAQ 100 is so near those recent lows is actually kind of scary, because if they all do go the same way, then we're going to be making new lows in the not so distant future. And don't forget, we still have a 10-year yield of 4.1%. Yeah. We have crude oil hovering around $90. Yeah, the dollar's come in a little bit, but it's right at that trend. Who knows here? But again, I think we don't bottom this way over the last couple of months. We're going to go from lower lows.
Well, let's dig deeper into the moves in crypto today. Both coins and related stocks sinking after crypto exchange Binance announced plans to buy FTX's non-U.S. business. FTX, of course, run by Sam Bankman-Fried, who's been coming to the rescue of several crypto companies this year, now finding itself in need of an investment itself. For more, let's bring in Hunter Horsely, the CEO of Bitwise Asset Management. Hunter, great to have you with us.
Great to be with you all.
We had, Celsius, we had 3 Arrows, and these were big hits in terms of confidence in the crypto markets. And I'm wondering, do you think that this is sort of like the next shoe? Everybody thought SBF was, the savior of the industry here, and he needs help himself at this point.
It's a bit of an Icarus moment for the space and for FTX. It's unacceptable. It's ridiculous. It's reckless. It's not good for the space. And it is another shoe in a year that has had quite a few blowups and issues in the crypto space. So I think it's definitely a bad moment.
It sounds like you think this should have never happened. And so in Binance buying the non-U.S. assets, are we setting ourselves up? Are we seeing sort of the continuation of this concentration, I don't want to say of power, but maybe of assets in the crypto industry that maybe is dangerous to the industry itself?
Well, I think that the broader trend that I'm hopeful investors are taking away from this year, last year I think a lot of investors said, I want to invest, and they didn't care so much how they did it, what platform they used or what partner they used. This year, a lot of investors have been burned. And I think that there's a growing awareness from investors that you need to be thoughtful about the platform or the partner, the professional management, the track record, et cetera. So I think that there will be learnings from this, and investors will have a preference for platforms that have a track record and professionalism that they can be more comfortable with.
What's your outlook for crypto itself in terms of let's just pick Bitcoin? It's so tied up in what is going on externally around it, and it's being pulled down by it. And so, where do you see it going here?
I think the story of this year for crypto is that as a liquid asset class, it's part of the same liquidity being removed from the system alongside everything else. It's down 60% this year. Qs are down 30%. Innovation in some cases down 70%. So I think it's part of that story. Now, underneath the hood, I think that the story of this year for crypto has been unbelievably positive, and you've seen a steady drumbeat of institutions embracing the space, fintech companies embracing it, developers coming in. So we're very constructive on it and optimistic. But the macro tailwind has been an overhang on the space. So I think as that loosens up, there's a lot of opportunity in the crypto space coming out of this year.
It feels nice to think about, these investors going in and all the positive things that you listed. But the fact of the matter is, if you're an investor in Bitcoin, you're suffering losses at this point, and the chart doesn't look any good, according to our technical analyst sitting here on the desk with us tonight. And so what is the case that you make to people to say, you should buy Bitcoin? Or maybe you think that you should not buy Bitcoin right now. It is still too early, because it certainly seems like it is too early. It's not moving on all these optimistic developments that you're painting for the industry.
Yeah, so historically, we don't have a ton of history in crypto, but over the last 12 years, there have been 4-year cycles, 3 years of bull market, 1 year of bear market. We've been in the space for 5 years, and so we've seen 2 of those bear markets now. And this year, we've seen clients coming into the space, some who want to take advantage of the cost basis, who think that the potential is there and compelling and see it as an opportunity. This year for us, our client base has actually doubled amidst everything happening in the market. So there's some that are definitely constructive, and I think it's a matter of sizing. If somebody's in the space already and has 30% of their assets allocated to crypto, it's a very difficult time. Our clients, which are professional investors, financial advisors, institutions, are generally sizing at 50 basis points to 500 and expected volatility. I think this year the surprise to them was actually more on the fixed income side or the equity side, and certainly crypto is volatile too, but part of what they thought they were signing up for. So many of them believe that the upside case is still here, and so I think are constructive on it and thinking about timing.
Hunter, I don't think it's coincidental that Bitcoin topped out just as our Federal Reserve pivoted back in November, and the fact that Bitcoin has not been able to get off the mat since that time effectively says that this becomes just a central bank play. So is it as simple as that? If global central banks flinch or blink or whatever dumb word people want to use, that's when Bitcoin takes the next leg higher?
I think it's definitely part of the story. Crypto is not bigger or separate from those considerations. But I think you saw an interesting thing last week, for example, with the hawkish comments coming out of the FOMC meeting, and crypto was higher last week. So there are different drivers in the space, and there's a lot of positive development underneath the hood. And so I think that the space is rearing to separate from the macro backdrop, but of course continues to be impacted by it.
Hunter, great to speak with you. Thank you.
Great to see you.
Hunter Horsely of Bitwise. Coinbase was one that really suffered on today's news, down by more than 10%. And it had to actually come out later in the day saying that it has no exposure to FTX, it has no exposure to the FTT coin. And yet it was still down.
Yeah, 11%. And that doesn't really matter because all of these exchanges have their own stable coins, and we've had numerous issues with it. You started this whole conversation off by saying the guy who's been saving all of these other institutions that had leverage and were using their own stable coins as collateral in their operations. So sooner or later, it's going to get around to Binance too, because I think a lot of investors don't trust the collateral that are supposedly backing some of these stable coins. And I'll just say this about the price of Bitcoin. I was really surprised that the NASDAQ moved, or the market in general moved in lockstep with Bitcoin, because I don't know about you guys, I'm not watching it a whole heck of a lot. It really is not impacting too many things that I'm doing in the markets. That does tell you, though, again, that a lot of investors in a lot of different asset classes have their finger on the trigger here.
Yeah.
I would submit he evoked Icarus, which was fantastic.
Yes.
So I would submit that Carter Braxton Worth has been the Daedalus of this entire thing, warning Icarus not to fly too close to the sun, because you see what happens. And maybe the rest of us are just the collective minotaurs in this entire thing.
However, that strength in Ethereum over the last 2-3 weeks, and I put something out to clients saying, I think you probably should cover shorts. So I'm on the wrong side of this now. Have I been bearish a long time? Yes, but right now I'm on the wrong side. So what to do? I would just flip it around and get short again. The thing looks like it's going to break, and it's all about sequencing. This is no different than any other asset. All assets make lows in June. Everything rallies, and then many have come back to their June lows and undercut it, which is going to happen in Disney tomorrow. Bitcoin is about to do that.